Hi there, my name's Renee Hemingway. I will be your instructor for the MICO 191 course. So starting from the college homepage, let's do a walkthrough. Going to go into Blackboard, and obviously you go through your login, and on the right-hand side, you're going to see MICO 191. I'm going to click on that. Let me just go into student preview so you can see what the student sees. There we go. So you'll start at the home page and you'll see the announcements. If you want to see previous announcements, anything older than 7 days, you just click on More Announcements and you'll see previous announcements. This video will be sent out in an announcement. So I'm going to go through course outline introduction, how to work through this course. This video will be changed over to the video you're currently watching by the time you see this. And then here is the course outline and a course schedule, because I find most people come back to the course outline to figure out the course schedule. All of these due dates are in Blackboard directly too. So going up and opening up the course outline, here's my contact information, my office, and my phone number, room number. So I work at the college full time. Feel free to contact me if you're at the college. We can arrange a time to meet. Email me with any questions. I get my email on my phone. I'm pretty quick to respond. You will be needing some kind of a flash drive or a way to save the file. You can just save it on your computer, your home computer, and headphones to listen to the tutorials. That's up to you, but you won't disturb others if you have the headphones on. We go through the learning objectives here and our course schedule once again. And here's our grade assessment, the important stuff. So there are weekly quizzes except for the very first week, partly because ad drop, partly because it's pretty basic material. So there's weekly quizzes worth 1% each. There's an online portfolio worth 5% each. If you've already completed a website portfolio for another class, then you can use that for this class. So if you have a website portfolio with Ed for Education that already has your educational philosophy, all that kind of stuff, you can use that instead. The assignments are worth 40%, the midterm exam 15%, and the final exam 30%. Now you are going to have to write the midterm and the final exam. Those are proctored. So you're going to book that with the ARC, so the third floor above the library, the Academic Resources Center. If you're in Medicine Hat, if you're in Brooks, you can write at the Brooks campus. If you're out of town, please contact me. We'll find someone who can help proctor. So maybe it's SAIT or wherever you happen to be living. So late assignments, if you have some valid reason for something being submitted late, please contact me in advance of it being late if possible. And then otherwise things are 0. So same thing with those weekly quizzes. The deadlines are set out from the very first day of class. You can work ahead on those weekly quizzes and all these projects. You just can't fall behind. And then we have our standard accessibility, our grading scheme, no plagiarizing. Keep in mind this is a computers course. I can tell whose computer this work was done on. So it's best to do your own work, especially considering the midterm and final is worth about half the class, and that is going to be in a proctored setting. So next, moving down, online tutorials and quizzes. So every single week, there'll be another online tutorial and quiz, except for the midterm and finals week, where you write your exam. So this first one, you won't be needing any kind of a quiz for that. So I'm just going to jump to the second one to show you what this looks like. So each project, there's case scenarios. And so the case scenarios is what's laid out here. This is the case scenario for project 1, which encompasses lesson 1 and 2. And it'll tell you when the project can be completed directly in Blackboard. So you know that you're done and you can finish it and hand it in. So this project 1 case scenario is saying that your parents own a small roofing company and you're going to help them get ready for a trade show, basically. I'm going to click on the folder. Here's the objectives for this lesson. And then here are the tutorials. So we don't have a textbook, but we do have sets of tutorials. So here on Microsoft Word, we're going to do tutorials 1 through 11 and 30. So I'm going to click on that link. And so we're going to GCF Learn Free. It is a completely free organization. It's actually Goodwill. Excellent resource. If you happen to get into a job where maybe they have Office 2010, they have tutorials for that too. They have tutorials for Adobe Photoshop, lots of different tutorials for you. So we're going to be using the Microsoft Office ones. So you would want to do 1 through 11 and 30. So here's 1 through, and I see I've done a couple of them. If you're a person who really likes a textbook, you can print these instead, okay? And that would still be cheaper than the textbook probably would have cost. I'm just going to go into one of these tutorials. And so the way these work is there's actually a video, a YouTube video. I'm just going to hit play for a sec. So this one's actually only 1 minute and 47 seconds. Most of them are under 5 minutes. Most of them are actually 3 to 4 minutes. So the way it works is here we have our practice document. So you'll open your practice document. I'm not going to click do that, but your practice document that walks you through this lesson. Now these are actually on YouTube. Just going to jump ahead a little bit. So it's going to actually walk you through. So a lot of people, they'll maybe watch the video on their phone and have their computer open and walk through and do the same practice that they're doing here. So the way it works, you can either read through all this and you'll see it actually does the exact same thing, or you can watch the video. Now, if you read it and you say, I still didn't get it, then watch the video as well. So they can reinforce each other, but you don't have to do both the reading and the video. That's up to you. I do highly recommend, though, going through and doing the practice document and following along either the reading or the video to make sure this is how you're learning to do these things. Okay, these are the exercises. And then the assignments area is where you're actually showing me that you know how to do these things, and that's what I'll be grading. So I'm completed up to the basic Word. I'm going to do the online quiz for Word. Now these quizzes are open computer, open book, so you can look up the answers. I encourage you to look up the answers. If you look it up, you'll remember it. That's important. Also, you'll be able to complete the assignment if you've actually done these exercises and you've gone through the quiz and you know what you're doing. So the instructions at the beginning here, forced completion. So once you start, you have to complete the test in one sitting. So you can't save it and come back to it later. There's a due date on all of these. Like I said, you can work ahead. You can't fall behind. So this one is due by September 19th by midnight, and you can't start it after the due date. Okay, so the test will be sitting there, but you can't click on it after September 19th. I'm going to click begin. So make sure you have enough time before you begin. These aren't very long tests. They're mostly about 10 points. And so this one's a matching. So we're matching the terms here with their definition or what they do. I'm just going to completely guess. So the way this works is we move to the next question and we cannot make changes to this question. So it's not timed, but you can't backtrack. You can't go back. So we're going to say next. And you see how it's saved automatically for me? Okay, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to say next. And if it doesn't get to doing that save, that's okay. It saves as soon as you hit next. So I'm going to do that one and do next. And this is my last question, so I get the save and submit on it. And I'm just going to leave one blank just to show you what this looks like. So I'm going to say save and submit. And it's saying, oh, this question is not complete. Do you want to continue? So if I cancel, I can go back in here and complete the question. I'm going to say, okay, obviously I'm going to get that part wrong. So just know that you can submit without completing, but you're going to get a 0 on that. So I'm going to say, okay, to review my results. And I got 3 out of 10. Not shocking. So here it is. I can now see I got 3 out of 10. I can see that in my grades area. Here's my 3 out of 10. I can't see which questions I got right or wrong until after the due date. So after the due date, I would be able to go in here, click on the number 3, and then go into my test attempts. I'd click on the number 3, and then I'd click on the actual test name. It'll take me through and show me which I answered, what I got right, what I got wrong, and then feedback. So links to actually show me which page tells me how that, how that information was or what that button meant or something like that. Okay, so I'm just going back into the online quizzes. So we've completed the quiz. Now these quizzes are just on the Microsoft Office portion. Same thing, midterm and final are just on Microsoft Office, but we are going to do some interesting things as well. We're going to do a free website builder, which is the Weebly. And so here's the tutorial for that. And then some optional, more in-depth information. They have a whole beginner's guide. Here's the QR code information. So after you've completed all this, you're going to go, so after you've completed the tutorials, the online quizzes, you're going to go to the assignments area and complete the corresponding area of the project. So here's the assignments. And so what we just did now was the Weebly and the intro word. So intro websites is Weebly, intro word. The next week's ones would be intro Excel and PowerPoint. So here I am, and I'm going to make, on your computer, go ahead and make a project 1 folder that gets covered in the Windows 10 tutorial. And you're just going to download these into project 1. So I'm using Firefox, which is why it comes up like this. I'm just going to right click. I can say save image as, and I could go and put it in the right folder. So I'll make a project 1 folder, download all of these. There it goes. These are the files that I'm going to use throughout the project. I'm just going to open up Microsoft Word right now. So this is the intro Word. This is the actual project sheet. So this will tell me how to complete the project. I'm just going to click this center one here. So this first project, here's introductory Word. And so you are getting this through Blackboard. You're getting your files. You're going to save them as we already talked about. And then here's your directions. So this one is going to be dealing with paragraph spacing. And so paragraph spacing, the settings for it, you can do some red fonts, some bullets. It's a very introductory word. You can do a hyperlink, and you're going to do a mail merge. So you're going to complete with this exercise, you have the directions here. Then you're going to go in, and after you're done, these are the 3 files you will have created. So those will get all saved in your project 1 folder as you're going. I'm just going to close that out. So every single week. Now the first week always has some kind of other thing. So this one's websites, the next one's Google Forms, as well as Microsoft Word. And then you'll have Excel, PowerPoint, and in projects 2 and 3, you're going to do Access as well, which is the database. So after you've completed all of these, so remember you complete a section, you go back to the tutorials, do the tutorials, come back here, complete the section, back and forth. After I've completed all of project 1, I can go in here. So here is the files I'm going to be submitting. So remember they were listed at the bottom of the sheet, but here's a list of them again. How to submit the projects. I'm going to click on project 1 above, and in the page it opens, scroll down and click browse my computer, attach each file. So literally I'm going to click on project 1, scroll down, browse my computer. I will navigate to wherever that happens to be. Okay, and get the file. It's just taking a half second here. There it is. So if I submit a file I didn't mean to, I can click do not attach and it'll remove it. I may have to browse my computer, or I will have to browse my computer several times because I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files in this one. I'm just going to browse my computer each time, and then I'm going to click submit. If I click save draft, I can come back here and add more files later, which can work for you, but I can't mark it until you hit submit. So I'm just going to hit submit here. Okay, this is what you'll see. I'm just going to go into the My Grades area. And so you'll see this exclamation point. I see the same. When it's been graded, you'll see your grade here, and you'll see a little speech bubble for the feedback that you got. Okay, so here's the grades. Student supports. So in the student supports area here, IT call center if you're having problems in Blackboard, Microsoft Office 365 for your free Microsoft Office 365 downloads. And so here's where you can work through that. So one last assignment I just want to mention. So this is open from the very beginning. Once that first week, you're doing the Weebly tutorial on how to build websites. Here is the portfolio. So you're going to create that portfolio. I mentioned if you already have one through Wix or whatever, that's fine. You can use that. Just make sure it has at least 3 pages, some kind of a philosophy or a career objective. This is an example of the 3 pages. It does not have to be these 3 pages. And here is grading. So for 5 points, you need a portfolio with 3 pages on the site, text on all the pages, and also some other items. Now it can be your resume, it can be a YouTube video, anything like that. And then also your philosophy statement is thought out and at least 3 sentences long. Okay, and so here's how you're just going to go in here and submit your portfolio. You're just going to click on it to submit it. You're going to copy paste your hyperlink and just put it right in there. I'm just going to cancel out of that. By all means, contact me if you have any questions or you're confused by anything. Go ahead and get started right away. Like I said, you can work ahead. You just can't fall behind. So if you happen to have a slow week a couple of weeks in the beginning of the semester from your other classes, please feel free to get ahead in this class. Thank you very much for making it through 14 minutes. Yikes.